It's Thomas Tadlock from thomastadlock.com and smoothieshred.com. You know, I'm about to do an interview with somebody, well, I'm being interviewed for a webinar series. And I thought, you know what, let me just take this moment to kind of show you what my setup is, because if you're a person that likes to do webinars and host webinars, then I thought this might be beneficial for you so you can kind of see what my setup is, so then that way you can get some ideas. Let's kind of take this from top down. Let's look at what we've got going on here. So first thing is, if you want to make your webinars look really good, you got to have good lighting, period. Especially if you're the subject in the interview, that means that people are going to be seeing you a lot in the video. You want to light yourself up and you want to light your background up properly. So I have two lights over here. You can buy these on Amazon. They're not cheap, but they're not terribly expensive either. I mean, I think they run about 100, 200 bucks or 300 bucks for a set of two like this. They're awesome because they're battery based and you can also plug them in. And then we've got another light over here behind me that is designed to light up the background and then kind of create a nice little silhouette around me. And what that does is, when you've got a backlight on you as well, it allows you, the subject, to really pop. And it makes your videos look a lot more professional, a lot better. All right, now let's look at the webinar hardware that we've got. So number one, camera. I'm not going to use my MacBook Pro's FaceTime camera because it's limited to 720p resolution. I want a full 1080p resolution instead. So this is about, I think, a $100 or $150 webcam by Logitech. It films in 1080p, and then there's a little USB cable that connects to my computer, and I'm able to use that as my main webinar camera. So then that allows me to take my laptop and kind of move it off to the side a little bit so that there's really nothing blocking me, because otherwise my webinar would look like this, right? You just see this computer in front of me the whole time. Or, you know, I got to use this FaceTime camera, which, you know, it's not only does it not give great resolution, but it's set at an angle that kind of is looking up my nose, and I don't like that. I want to be able to be right at eye level with the camera. It looks a lot better. Okay, now microphones and sound. This is super cool. So I use a Yeti Blue for capturing the audio that's going to go to the webinar itself. So what you hear on the other end of the webinar is coming from this. This is a really popular microphone that's used by vloggers, podcasters, and anybody who creates their own audio content on computer. This is just one of the cheapest and higher quality microphones that you can get. And it works fantastic, it looks really cool, and it sounds great. Now, simultaneously, I'm also hooked up with a lav microphone too. Why is that? It's because, look, I'm creating my own content, right? Now, whether it's being hosted by somebody else, I want to be able to multi-purpose the content that I create. So I'm going to capture everything that I say on my side, not what the other person says on their side, just my side of it, so that I can use it for future blogs and podcasts and vlogs as well. All right, then this is the coolest part. If you're the type of person that does PowerPoint presentations like me, Brooke is an interviewer, so when they talk to her, it's her and it's the information that she's sharing verbally. For me, it's going to be mostly PowerPoint presentations. When I talk about miracle metabolism, there's a lot of visual information I want to get across that I just really can't describe in words in a great way. Not nearly as well as I can do in a PowerPoint presentation. So when I do a PowerPoint presentation, I'm sharing my screen, and then that gets to be presented to the host on the other end and all the watchers on the other end too. Now, if you've ever done a video presentation with PowerPoint before, one of the biggest challenges that you might notice is that you can only share your screen. And so whatever you're sharing on the screen is exactly what they're seeing on the other end. Well, the downside of that is, if you want it to look good, you know, you got to show your PowerPoint presentation in like either the full screen format or in the kiosk format, but it doesn't allow you to see what the next slide is. And if you're a person like me that has a bad short-term memory, I don't remember what's coming up next all the time. So PowerPoint gives you this option of what's called presenter view, which allows you to see a full interface of what the next screen is going to be, with the intent being that there's a second screen that you're going to somehow, the second screen is going to be the broadcast screen that everybody is able to see. But how do you do that in a webinar format when you only have one computer or one laptop? Well, the way I get around it is behind me, I've got a small little monitor that I only use for this purpose. I have this monitor and an Apple TV that's set up, which acts as if I just had an HDMI cable plugged into my laptop. But this is much cleaner to use an Apple TV because there's no wires involved. And what I'm able to do is from here, I'm able to select the Apple TV as an AirPlay device and use it as a second screen. So now what I can do is I can go in to my PowerPoint presentation and then go to presenter view, and on my screen I'm able to see what the next slide's going to be coming up, and then on this screen is in full resolution, in full screen, it's showing the slide that I want the audience to see. So now I'm able to get the best of both worlds. I've got my main camera looking right at me. I've got my presentation right here in front of me. I'm able to read notes and see what my next slide is with good audio and everything, and deliver a really great quality, powerful PowerPoint presentation over the web. And then here's what's great. When I'm done with the PowerPoint presentation, I can unshare my screen, and then I'm right back to full 1080p high resolution video, and I can continue the conversation with the host that might be interviewing me. So that gives you an idea of what my setup is. My main tips for you is have a nice looking background. I don't recommend that you just have a white wall. Put something interesting in the background. I mean, this is my office, and I decorated in a way that it just makes me feel good and kind of goes with the color scheme of the office, but you don't need to have something as fancy as this. You can go and buy on Amazon backdrops that look like it's wood or brick or something really, really nice with the texture in the background that costs maybe, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks. And it comes with like kits that you can drape it on. And you know what? When it comes to video and photography, sometimes you can't even tell the difference. So these are my tips. I hope they're helpful to you in any way at all. If you got any value out of it, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I read all my comments, and I love receiving comments, and I love to help people any way I possibly can. All right, thanks so much, and look out for more videos.